You say goodbye. We say hello to cussing. You have been warned. Content is not suitable for all listeners. Welcome. You're listening to Bewitched Banter.
I'm Krista, and I believe that people are inherently shitty.
And I'm Amy, and I tend to believe that people are naturally good.
But ironically, I'm a super believer in the supernatural and all things spiritual.
And I'm a total skeptic.
Sure is. That I can prove. I am not a total skeptic. I just lost track.
That's okay. Okay, we're talking about Ouija stories.
Ouija's today. Ooh, ooh. And Amy did a fabulous job on history on Tuesday, so thank you for taking us through that.
You're welcome.
Fucking fascinating. If you haven't listened, check it out because a lot of connections with the brain and the mind is so effing cool, and history in general. So
I know that's one of my favorite little research sessions I've had in a while. In a hot minute. Well, obviously, I think last time I did psychic detectives, and I was like, I can't take this shit seriously.
That was a tough one, even for me.
I was like, this is really hard to even give my time to this.
To this bull. But yeah, you got a nice little surprise with Ouija, it sounded like. I also shared my personal experiences with it on Tuesday about my grandmother having a board, and I'm still not going to F with it. But in my research, I did find a video that caught things on tape called Ouija Board Possessions Caught on Tape by somebody named Chills. That's just a YouTube channel. But it was a little cheesy. However, what I did get from it was a theme. And it was 3 out of the 10 of these stories were from Peru. And
where is that?
Peru?
Oh, you just said it weird. That's why I couldn't tell.
Oh, I just said it how it's supposed to be pronounced, Peru.
Well, yeah, I'm white, so I gotta say Peru.
I just speak the language. So anyway, Peru. And 3 out of the 10. I thought that was interesting. So I have a little bit of a listicle of Peruvian possessions via Ouija.
I'm gonna go to Peru.
Oh, doing this, by the way, that was something my grandmother used to do while we played cards, or like we had a family dice game that we would play, and she'd like try to curse us, and she'd be like Ouija, Ouija, Ouija when we were rolling to get a good score. Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
Yeah, Misty Grams. Mwah.
I know my grandma loved gambling.
Oh, she did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God bless. Oh my God.
You'd always find her at the slot machine.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Wait, so there's casinos in UK? I know that's dumb.
No, they have them at the pub.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, the pubs all have a little slot machines.
Oh, how cute is that?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yep, she'd be smoking her cigarette at the little slot machine.
Oh my God, I love her.
Yeah, that's my mom's mom, yeah.
Oh my God.
And she loved cards. We played a lot of cards. And we like bet and stuff.
What's the game you tried teaching us and you called us idiots? Are you guys fucking idiots?
Okay, guys, I had a few drinks. I'm not usually that mean.
This was her proposal engagement celebration trip, by the way.
Golf.
No, we had to teach you golf. You were teaching us something else.
No, I taught you golf.
No, my grandma did. Same grandma.
I can't remember. Anyway, let's move on.
You're like, are you like fucking idiots?
Yeah, I guess I'm a very nice person. Moral of the story.
No, stop it. Okay, so we're going to Peru, and I'll have a little bit of a list for you. So, 3 again of the 7 of these video hauntings via Ouija were there in that country. So why? I'm assuming this is a total mass assumption. Why Peru? Well, because there's a lot of indigenous land and people still that exist that definitely hold, the spirit world as a valuable thing, thereby influencing the culture today. Because it's a very rural place. Yep. I mean, you have Lima and obviously other cities, but it's still pretty rustic, if you will.
Is it a pretty religious country, do you know?
Yeah, I would assume it's very Catholic.
That's what I was kind of assuming.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
Most of the Spanish
leaning
countries are
by the Spaniards. So I'm assuming that. Again, that's not...
Correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah, please.
Or if you're a Peruvian expert.
All right, so the very first story I have for you, I named them all.
Okay.
Schoolyard fun. Now...
Am I back in school?
You are, Miss Holt. I would like to ask you, what would you do if you, A, taught at your kid's high school, and B, what would you do if your kid brought a Ouija board to school?
I would just think they're having a little fun.
Okay.
I would think it's harmless.
Okay.
As long as they're not, like, disrupting class.
All right. So you're going straight and narrow. I love it. Don't disrupt my class. We fine.
Yeah.
See, now I would be fucking pissed because I would think it's disrespectful. A, because you're disrupting my class, but also because my belief in, like, don't bring that negative energy into my class.
Why does it have to be negative? Couldn't they tell you something positive?
They could, but I assume the worst, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, not, maybe, like, they're talking to nice dead people.
I hope so. But, like, in all my cases from Peru, they were not. They were demonic.
Yeah, but honestly, people don't like to tell. I think scary stories are more fun to tell.
Oh, hell yeah. The sleep paralysis is coming up, but that's how I felt with that gummy. Anyhow. All right, so schoolyard fun. Amy would be like, whatever, you just brought it to school. I'd be like, hell no, you better take that shit home.
It's better than the kids who used to bring the Chucky fucking doll to school.
That's mean.
Yeah, and then they would put
Wait, you had kids that did that?
Yeah, and then they would put it on the conveyor belt to scare the cafeteria ladies.
That's so fucked up.
In the cafeteria ladies, you would hear them squeal. Like,
That's so mean.
I should have screamed in the
Why
mic.
are kids such little assholes? Oh my God.
Better than people bringing the freaking duck calls. We had that too growing up.
Oh God, that's so Indiana.
Yes, it was so annoying. And like you're starting your day like in the cafeteria because we always had to hang out there before school started.
Oh,
you would just hear the duck calls.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Very Indiana.
Rule. All right. So in Peru, the teacher that I'm referencing, the why I asked you, there indeed was a teacher whose child brought a Ouija board and, among other things, Book of Black Magic and other occultish objects to class.
Was she mad?
I don't say per se, but we'll get into it a little bit. So allegedly, the girl, again, brought this Ouija board and this Book of Black Magic to school and allegedly encouraged some of her classmates to play.
Okay. Shortly
thereafter, like the days going on or whatever, allegedly a group of, get this, 30 students start breaking out in like mass hysteria after playing the game.
High school students?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the video is really scary. And by the way, the school is in San Jose de Saramuro in the Loreto region of Peru. And according to local media, she was really trying to get these people to play and then like have fun with it. And apparently, as they started convulsing, the girl who brought it to school points to the other kids and says, "It's all your fault. It's all your fault." So taking on possessions. But around 27 of the 30 students who played were acting like they were literally convulsing and like foaming at the mouth. And there's video of it. It's really bizarre. And then you can see the parents coming to school to pick up their kids and they're like limp in the parents' arms. And so
weird.
Yeah.
Do you think this was all like, do you think this is real?
It's bizarre because they were very clearly convulsing.
Yeah.
Really. Whether they were possessed or not, that's up to us to decipher. But
I was like, did the kid drug everyone too when he brought the book?
Well, it goes to speak to crowd, what's it called? The crowd phenomena.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Of hysteria, right? Where like you start acting and doing the things that the crowd does. The crowd mentality, I suppose, is what it is, right? But speaking of Peru being an evangelical country, it is indeed that. So there were several children whose parents were evangelical and were terrified because they're religious. So they brought all their kids to church. And this is how much embedded in the community spiritualism, not spiritualism in the way you covered, but being, religious and beliefs in the supernatural. The school was suspended or the classes were suspended and shut down for a whole week.
Wow.
Because they were all like that terrified.
Damn, the teacher and the mom was probably like, damn it.
Yeah, right.
She was probably pretty pissed.
Yeah, so you'd be pissed now, right?
Yeah.
See, now I was like waiting for you to see that part
I'd
of the
be
story.
pretty mad at my kid.
But apparently the students have returned to school the week after. But I will put the video on the socials because it is pretty fucking bizarre. Like you just see them walking out and being carried and like a little bit of mass chaos. But
is there any theories behind it?
It didn't say. And that's the other thing about all three of these stories, which does not lend to my credibility. It does not by any means, because there was only like 1 or 2 news stories about each of them that didn't investigate the why. A little fishy. Yeah. And I think, they were just reporting on the news that did happen, but the videos are very intriguing and they make very intriguing cases to watch. Okay, number 2, I called this the phone possession.
Okay.
There's an app for that. Yes, there is or was a Ouija app.
There's an app for everything. Literally.
Literally.
There's a podcast for everything, and there's an app for everything.
Bewitched Banter.
Yeah.
At gmail.com. Email us. Wink. Okay. Still in Peru. This one was pretty motherfucking creepy, but I'm going to take us there. Okay. So, Patricia Condori, I said it Italian. Patricia Condori was an 18-year-old in Peru, and apparently she was effing around with her friends like all other teenagers do, but not with the board game, but with the Ouija app, playing the game on her phone. They say they downloaded it over the weekend, just messing around and whatever. However, about a week or so later, Patricia's parents noticed she seemed not to be acting right. She was unwell, enough for them to call the ambulance.
Was this where is this?
It's in a smaller town in Peru.
Oh, yeah, you said they were all in Peru. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the footage shows it very rural, and I'll get to it in just a second. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's my top story. It's the very rural, jungle-y vibe. Okay, so there was pretty horrifying images of this one, though, showing Patricia, the 18-year-old, as you can hear and see her being restrained and screaming, 666.
The devil.
Over and over.
The devil.
Yeah, supposedly that's a sign of Satan, which I don't think I covered in Satan.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder why.
I think it's a mockery of the Holy Trinity, from what I understand.
Interesting.
Because, Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost are the Holy Trinity. Look at my Catholicism
3,
showing.
6. I get it now. Okay.
So I would think, from the little I've read about it, I think that's what it's supposed to signify.
Interesting.
So, anyway, she was screaming 666, followed by let me go, in another worldly voice.
Sounds like an exorcism movie.
Yeah. Well, oddly enough, there may or may not have been an exorcism.
Oh.
TBD. So, I'll post this video as well for everybody this week, but Ella's possessed now. Her friends are little tattletales.
So, how old is she? Do you know?
18.
18, okay.
Mm-hmm. They said, according to media, after she had the physical reactions of convulsing and foaming, when interviewed by the media, they said that they were using the board to conjure satanic spirits.
Damn.
Yeah.
Don't mess with that.
Yeah. But again, during her Patricia being restrained, she became very strong and required like a lot of people to pull her down. And you can see this in the video. Like, she's in the hospital bed and they're like trying to hold her down. Damn. And she's like wailing and like has this really creepy like exorcism-y type voice.
Is this recent?
2018, I believe. Oh, okay. Or so 2015. Pretty... One was 2018 and one was 2015.
So relatively recent.
Yeah. Pretty recent past. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not even like 10 years ago past. Like pretty recent. So obviously at the hospital, they brought her to the psychiatric ward while medical professionals wanted to investigate further. What the fuck's going on? Is this a thing caused by a game? She apparently was possessed. And after that, she was committed for further evaluation. And this is where it gets weird to me because there's no follow-up. There was no word of an exorcism or an exorcist being called. And that source, by the way, was from a religious source, the Deacon Chronicle, which I'm assuming is like a chronicle for religious clergy people.
Oh, I don't trust those people.
Yeah, so anyway, but they may or may not have called an exorcist for Patricia.
Ooh.
TBD, she may still be haunted by the evil demon that took her spirit. We don't know. But did you know that exorcists are real?
What do you mean?
Like, they're in the Catholic Church, there actually are ordained exorcists.
Yeah, because I know that they've called people to do that.
Uh-huh.
I think I've covered that in a story, maybe.
You probably did. But my mom, and I'm sorry if I told you this, but my mom, who went to Fairfield University, which is a Jesuit university.
What's Jesuit again?
It's like a sect of Catholicism.
Oh, okay. I was like, I knew the name.
But the priests are really cool, and they're like way more chill and free thinking.
Yeah.
Than
not so rigid.
Than Roman Catholic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so they really cool, my mom says. But anyway, she knew one, like Father, I forgot his name, but Father somebody in Fairfield U was an exorcist. And she used to talk to him, her and her college roommate, who I love. They used to like tell us about it and like how they would try to get him to tell stories, but they're forbidden to speak on.
Yeah, I figured they would be.
Almost secret society-esque, you know?
Yeah, but I think that's out of respect.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'd be good if a guy was like blabbing around like, yeah, I exorcised a demon out of that guy over there.
Mark him.
Watch out, he's possessed.
Mark her.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so anyway, exorcists are actually a real thing, which I thought.
Yeah, we need to cover that
was
too.
Pretty darn cool. All right, last one I have of the 3 out of the 7 Peruvian possessions via Ouija.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
A mental institution in the city of Haiyan. Sorry.
That's where all the creepy shit happens.
Yeah. And this is in...
we used to run in cross country in high school around a mental health institute. It was so creepy. It was like abandoned.
Fuck no. We had that shit too. Fairfield Hills. Speaking of Fairfield U, same town. Fairfield Hills was abandoned.
Yeah, we run around like cross country meets around it.
No.
I was like, why did they choose that location? That's creepy.
That's so... No. Mm-mm. Fuck with that. But kids used to go to Fairfield Hills all the time and like sneak in and try to do weird shit. And I was like, absolutely not.
Oh, I'm sure.
No. Okay, so we are in a mental institution in the city of Haiyan, Peru, and the gal's name is Blanca Giovanna. She's just 16, so a little younger than Patricia. She was also playing the game with her girlfriends, using the board to summon demons. And it's unclear if they wanted to do it just one time, if they played several times, but it seems like, from what they guess, that Blanca and friends became like a regular thing, like a chill, like board game night. Unfortunately, very soon after they were doing this, she became so aggressive and so violent that her parents not only brought her to a hospital, they had her committed.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really sad.
That is sad.
Gets worse. Not only is she in the psych ward, she is so violent with other staff and patients, they had to chain her to a wall.
Oh, that's horrific.
Yeah, and there's video of it, which...
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
I
don't know if I want to watch that.
Yeah, it was. She's a 16-year-old girl.
Oh, that's awful.
And both wrists were chained to like this really shitty, dumpy Peruvian jail, like stucco walls.
Damn, that's horrific.
And you can see her convulsing and screaming, "Beneca," which means come here, like I'm gonna take your spirit. And she sounded like that, like really creepy. And she would just say it over and over. And then she would always say the name Fernando. I don't know if that meant anything, but I kept hearing her say, "Beneca, Fernando," and like in that creepy, haunted voice. And so there was only one news report of this, but it was caught on tape, and you can see her again. Not only that, but then you see her like hanging out of the wall, probably before they chained her up. And then
Sorry. I shouldn't laugh. Sorry.
No, it's awful. Yeah, it's really
no. Like, I'm not laughing at the situation. Yeah,
but you're laughing out of like I don't know what else to do. I get it. I get it.
I laugh when I'm uncomfortable.
I totally get it. So Blanca was there. Guess how many days she was chained to the wall?
I'm going to say 10?
21.
What? How would she sleep?
They had like a shitty mattress laid down, and you can see her like, she was like standing on it.
Okay, that is going to give you trauma if you didn't already have trauma.
Right, exactly. So
I don't really think that
unfortunately wasn't the best
that sounds awful.
Healthcare situation there. Mental health care.
I mean, that's putting it lightly.
Yeah. According to this video, which was kind of cool and creepy, no other news has left the town, and we do not know whatever happened to Blanca Giovanna.
Damn, I hope someone gets her some help.
I know, I really do too.
That's
but like
tragic.
It was sad. You could see like they were interviewing the parents and the mental health facility folks, and they were all just like distraught.
Damn.
Obviously, because you're seeing a 16-year-old girl go through this trauma.
Yeah, I mean, they probably were doing all they knew the best they could, but still, that doesn't seem right.
Well, and also think about it too. Like again, the culture, like they're used to this, and this they truly believe, right? So they're actually probably scared out of their damn minds.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know,
culturally, yeah, it's like a different perspective.
Exactly. So anyway, that is my Peruvian possessions via Ouija story.
That was creepy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Moral of this week's episode, I learned I'm a hypocrite. Because I
got that on tape. Holy shit.
Because I always give you a hard time for listening to dark stuff. And here I am researching dark stuff every week.
Oh, you got a darkie for me today.
Yes, very dark.
Dark one.
I thought this would be more fun based off like the headlines I was reading. Like drunken jury uses Ouija board. But then, unfortunately, as I progress to...
Drunken jury? Oh, wait, I'm so fucking intrigued.
Yes, but the more I got into it, it's actually a really tragic, sad story.
Oh, fuck.
So, sorry in advance.
Yeah, you're going for the harder... Yeah, not faint of heart lately.
Yep. That's why I told you I'm a hypocrite. So on February 10th, 1993, an insurance broker named Stephen Young, he is also nicknamed the Iceman, which I'm going to get to later.
Ew, that's already creepy.
Yes. And he was at the doorstep of a newlywed couple, and this couple's names are Nicola and Harry Fowler. And they're in East Sussex, which is like a county in southeast England.
Okay.
And
is it near your family?
No, my family's in the Midlands, so like smack dab in the middle of England. Okay. I mean, nothing's too far in the island,
sure.
Really. And then this couple, they've only been together 5 months, madly in love. I have a picture of them.
Oh, yeah, let me see. Oh my God, they look beautiful.
Yeah, she's
stunning. Like, oh my God, my mom had a crown like that.
Yeah, she has a big flower crown. Happy smiles on their wedding day. So, Nicola was 27, and Harry is 45. So, she must have had a thing for older men.
Older dudes. I mean, listen, we know younger men are immature.
So, Stephen Young, he's at their doorstep, and he's at their house because he actually conned Harry into thinking that they're going to partner on a business deal together.
Oh, fuck.
And for Harry, really, to seal the deal, he was going to need a large chunk of money to invest.
Oh, of course. This sounds very much like our concept here.
So when Harry opened the door, Stephen didn't do the normal, like, hi, how are you? Instead, he busted through the door and shot Stephen in the back.
Jesus
He then
Christ.
proceeded to shoot Nicola, thank you.
You're welcome.
3 times. One of the bullets shattered her jaw.
Oh, my God.
So tragically, she is dragging herself across the floor to the phone, and she calls for 999, which is like the England's version of 911.
Okay.
And the operator picks up, and she obviously talks to him. She gets some words out, and then she's shot one more time in the face, and then it's fatal. Stephen then attempts to make the crime scene look like it was drug related, so he spreads like a white powder substance over the bodies.
Wow.
After a 4-week-long trial, Steve Young was found guilty of, thank God, he was found guilty, but for murdering Nicola and Harry Fowler.
Okay.
Nicola.
That's
Nicola. Right. Okay. Fowler's must have had a security camera, I'm assuming. Or it might have been CCTV, because CCTV is all over England. And actually,
you're asking me what it was, and I think I knew what it is now.
Yeah, it's like security cameras.
Yeah, and you have to, at least in the States, disclose that, like, if you have one on your property, you have to have a little sign that says you're being monitored.
Yeah. I thought this was really an interesting tidbit. I looked it up, and there's 4 to 5.9 million cameras in the UK. And England actually has the most security cameras than any other European country.
Really?
And the latest statistic is that there's 1 camera for every 14 people in England. So it kind of made me question, how do criminals get away with anything?
Yeah. I mean, do you see them when you're hanging?
I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
I mean, here too, we're being watched all the time, right? But
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, maybe if I went and I actually intentionally thought about it, but I've never really paid attention to that. Because of this, either they had a camera at their house or it was through CCTV, but there's a recording of Stephen actually talking to Harry that morning that the murders took place. And in the recording, they were able to recognize Stephen's voice, and it's him making plans to meet Harry at his cottage later that day. Kind of confirming he had plans to be there at that approximate time.
Cottage.
Yes, cottage. And there's actually footage of his car fleeing the scene as well. So
what a dumbass.
Yeah, a lot of evidence. They also found guns stashed at his house. So he was the treasurer of a rifle club, but he did own...
Like England's NRA?
Which I was kind of surprised by because barely anyone has guns there.
Yeah. Huh.
But he did own several guns that were illegal, too, that weren't registered. And the reason... So getting back to why is he nicknamed Iceman?
Yeah.
Is because they said...
And where's Ouija? I know it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. They said that when they were interrogating him, he just had like this cool, calm, collective, like unbothered behavior. Like it was bizarre. And that after he had just killed Nicola and was it Harry? Who was his name?
Harry.
Yes, yeah, Harry. That he went and was like, went to his family, and his wife and like his other business associates described him as being very calm, which is very bizarre.
So creepy. If you just murdered somebody.
You just murdered someone and you're not exhibiting any kind of...
Or two people.
Yeah, and you're just acting like it's an every normal day.
Wait, I'm assuming Nicola died.
Both of them
Okay,
did.
yeah.
During the trial, they also discovered that Stephen is in 100,000 pounds in debt. Kind of explaining the motive for him to steal money from the Fowlers. Money. And they aren't sure how much money he actually stole, but he had so much evidence against him. So the next day, they've discovered that a 6,000 pound deposit was in his bank account the very next day. So he's not a smart criminal
what an
either.
Idiot.
During the trial, this part's so tragic. So it must have been it was the jury and like the family members. It was a hard trial to be a part of because there's the recording of Nicola calling 999 and making the desperate plea for her life.
Oh my god.
So you can hear like the panic, like having for the family and the jury to have to like live through that, like witness that. I can imagine that'd be horrific.
Yeah, I couldn't if I were a family member, I don't think.
I am getting to a Ouija board eventually. So
I believe you. I trust you.
During the trial, Stephen claimed that he had found Harry and Nicola's dead bodies and he had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm. You just found them.
Yeah, but...
Okay, buddy.
But why wouldn't you call the police?
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah,
like,
you just stumble on your friend's body.
Oh, they're dead. Let me go back to work.
Right. Okay.
While it was being announced that Stephen was found guilty of murdering Nicola and Harry, there was actual, like, loud cheers from the crowds and, like, sighs of relief. And Stephen sat there.
That's
like
so, like, English, I feel like, of, like, cheering on people. I mean, we do it here, too. But, like, of people's, like, jury by public or hanging by a public or whatever it's called.
Yeah. And,
you know what I mean? And
Stephen kept up his act. Like, he sat there and, like, shook his head in disbelief and kind of made a big show of it. Like, oh, I'm so innocent. Can't believe this is happening to me.
Wow.
Obviously, the families are beyond devastated, but relieved that justice was served as much as it could be. Because I know nothing can bring back your loved ones. This is where we get to the Ouija board. I'm finally going to get to it. So a month after he was announced guilty, a front page headline from News of the World read the following, quote, "Murder jury's Ouija board verdict, booze, dirty jokes, and then Ouija board." This was a quote from one of the jury members who said that 4 people who were in the jury, they during the trial were staying at, it's called the Old Ship Hotel. And so the night before they were going to read the verdict, they got a little drunk off wine, drank a little too much, and decided to, which I find is weird, they had one randomly, but decided to consult a Ouija board to help them make their minds up if Stephen was
so illegal.
In fact, guilty.
Fucking seriously?
So, like me and my Simba Cup days, because I talked about that in the last episode, I made my own do-it-yourself Ouija board. They made one too. Instead of a Simba Cup, they used a wine glass, and they cut out pieces of paper to consult with the spirits. This is when the juror said...
a real DIY effort here.
Yes. This is when the one who's reporting this to, like, the newspaper or the media said that the 4 drunk jury members said that the Ouija board spoke to them. And the Ouija board told them that they were communicating to Harry Fowler. And the board communicated that Stephen Young did it. And he spelled out S-H-O-T. Shot. Yeah. And then told them to vote guilty tomorrow. So extremely offensive to Nicola and Harry Fowler's family. Like, I find that very offensive they did that.
Oh, that the juries did it. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the result, like the actual.
No, it's the fact they did that.
Yeah,
how insulting.
Again, how is that legal? Like, how?
It's not. This is where it's a twist. So it's not only just offensive and upsetting, but Stephen Young caught wind of this and his lawyer, and they demand a retrial.
Good. I mean,
not good.
Not good for him, but because he doesn't deserve it. But technically, that is not a fair trial.
It's actually really tragic because the family.
Does he get off now?
Well, the family's because he has to have a retrial. The families again have to live the trauma all over again of reliving the evidence being replayed at court a second time. God. And during the second time, the court again plays the evidence of Nicola calling 999. And one of the jurors becomes so upset because it had to be heart-wrenching to listen to it. They have to break and adjourn for a few hours just because she's so overwhelmed with emotion. This story's really sad. So the Johnsons, who were the parents of Nicola, were interviewed by the Argus, which I've never heard of, which I'm assuming is like an English substantial
like English
newspaper
magazine, I think.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
In the interview, they explained how the trial wrecked not only their lives but also their health. They were having to relive all this trauma. So Miss Johnson explained in the interview that she had to attend every hearing, understandably so, because she had to know everything, and she's just like consumed with anxiety and like worry that Stephen Young is going to walk away as a free man during this retrial.
Horrific.
Yeah, it's really tragic. Miss Johnson suffered a heart attack 5 years after Young was able to successfully appeal his conviction. And Mr. Johnson had a stroke that paralyzed the right side of his body. And he had to undergo years of therapy to regain his speech and movement.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, then you're right. Shame on those fucking jury members.
Mm-hmm. And the daughter, I'm assuming I think it's a daughter. She was taking care of her, had to go to like intense therapy because she was kind of the rock the whole time for her. Yeah. She was taking care of her parents and never really got to take care of herself.
Mentally, yeah. My aunt did that for my said grandmother and grandfather.
And the Johnsons in the interview say they believe all of like their health issues, a lot of it's due to the stress that they were put under and like having to relive this trauma.
Oh my God.
The only silver lining of this story is thankfully Stephen Young was found guilty again.
Oh, God. Okay, thank God.
And Nicola's father came forward and in the article states that the jury that used the Ouija board made a complete joke of his daughter's death. And he's just disgusted by them.
Rightfully so, man.
From what I read, it's not really uncommon for jurors to misbehave, but because of this ridiculousness of what happened, it led the tabloids to go crazy. Because, I mean, it's a good soundbite, right?
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, I was...
Drunk jury. That's why I was intrigued when you had that headline.
Yeah, I saw the headline. I clicked on it. I was like, that sounds interesting. And because of this, that's really why it influenced the court to allow him to have a retrial. Because there was so much
That's what I was saying
attention.
As far as, law. Like, obviously, he's a piece of shit. Sorry, I want to clarify my comment earlier. Like, everyone deserves a fair trial no matter how much of a piece of shit you are.
Oh, I agree.
That's all. Yeah, but sorry.
I understand your point. They speculate he probably wouldn't have been given a retrial, but because of how much people were paying attention because of these headlines, that's what really influenced the court to allow him to have a retrial. Wow. Because there was so much tension and press.
They must be so fucking ashamed of themselves. I hope so.
Oh, 100%. That's disgusting.
Do you know if any of them, like, died by suicide?
I do not know.
Because I would. I mean, immediately, if I was complicit in something like that, I couldn't live with myself.
I mean, I'd be, disgusted with myself. Yeah. Anyway, I, again, brought it down. Very dark, but...
But at least he actually eventually got convicted.
Yeah, I'm happy he was found guilty because I can't imagine if he was able to walk away due to those actions.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that happens, unfortunately, with the justice system.
It does. Great work. And good find. And headline, man. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was having a hard time finding something, and then I came across that. And I was like, okay.
There it is.
I'm sold.
Sometimes it just jumps out in front of us.
Yeah.
Well, great work. We hope you guys enjoyed Ouija.
And we're about to put the air conditioning on because I'm sweating.
Also, PSA, don't effing play Ouija, please. Just don't. Thanks.
Do it if you want.
No, don't listen.
Do it.
She's evil.
Just do it. That's what my granddad used to always say all the time.
My grandmother too. I told you, she would like taunt us. And my cousins and my sister did it. And I said, I'm good. Y'all, I'll just watch from the corner like, no, no. But anyway, rate, review, subscribe.
Yep, please do. And we didn't put the air conditioning on because it makes a shh noise for recording. So we're going to put that AC on, that bad boy.
We got swiss right now.
Yeah.
And swats.
We sweating for you guys.
Swiss, swats,
Yeah.
The whole thing. But peace be witches.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on Instagram or bewitchedbanter.com. Suggestions for the show? Email us at bewitchedbanter@gmail.com. Credits, Music Phantom Fun by Jonathan Boyle from premiumbeat.com. Podcast edited and produced by Krista Hins and Amy Holt. As always, if you enjoyed, please rate, review, and subscribe.